Yeah.
So thank you, Allison, for being here. So we'll jump right in. Just want to ask some questions about your experience so far in the New Me Academy, whatever you can help share with other listeners and especially like-minded women out there. First question is, what was, I was going to say, what was your biggest problem? What's your problem? How were you feeling before joining the New Me Academy? Like, what was going on with you and your health?
So I have done many of diets throughout my life, and I have had success, but I never maintain it. And I was just feeling a little defeated. And it was the beginning of the year, and I saw you on, I believe it was Instagram, and offering a 1 week trial, just 1 week free class on working with you and doing it the right way, eating real food and exercising and having accountability. And I was like, that's it. That's what I need. It isn't food replacement. It isn't limiting myself to where I'm starving every day. And I just felt this connection and felt like this is it. This is finally it. At 57 years old, I finally found the right person and program that it just sounded like it was the right thing to do. And it was time. And I need to get out of medication and get in better health shape and health. And I know this is the right way to do it. So I jumped in week 1 and did the first week. So, and then it's history, and you can kind of go from there.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So when we met, I mean, you didn't know me at all.
Oh, not at all.
No, no. So you saw me on Instagram. I was talking about the free health kickstart that I was starting on January 1st for a week, the challenge. And yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
remember you messaging and asking if you could join, and I'm like, of course. And so you joined that for a week, and then right afterwards, I was hosting a 4-week weight shed experience, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm hosting a similar one next month, starting on May 13th. And you purchased that 4-week experience.
I
And
did.
then when that was, well, we were just about, I think, a couple of weeks, not even halfway through
I
it.
think,
And
yeah,
you,
we were about 2.5 when you started talking about the next
yeah, and you
idea.
started, I remember you asked me, like, what's next? Like, what does it look like to work with you, like, ongoing after this?
Mm-hmm.
And and there was obviously several ways to like continue for different durations of time. Um, and I would love for you to share with the listeners what your choice was.
So after doing a week with Linda, and we were, like you said, about 2.5 weeks in to our 4-week program. And I asked you that, and we met and had a conversation about my options and what I ended up doing at 3 weeks in. I was so happy and in a good place and feeling like, again, this was the right thing. So I signed up for a year with Linda, and I'm thrilled that I did. And I know, and through talking to Linda and the experience already that I had, that it wasn't going to happen overnight. It wasn't going to happen in a month.
Right.
And learning that a year was it truly for me to lose the weight in a year
Mhm.
and maybe not even lose the full amount, but to know that I had that time to work with you meant a lot to me. It meant that I wasn't just like, here's your program. Okay, now go do it. And call me in 3 months and you should be done. I know it doesn't work that way. And the healthiest way to do it is 1 pound a week. And, you know, I wanted to do it the correct way because it's gonna last.
Right.
It's this time I'm learning so much, and it will last. And so I knew a year needed to be that time frame. I knew I needed you for a year, and I needed that time for myself to learn the correct way to do it, and then hopefully maintain,
Yes.
and then hopefully keep working
Yes,
with you.
yes. I mean, you've made amazing progress so far, and I'll let you talk about that. And I was thrilled that you did choose to join for a year, because a lot of times women are, they have some fear about committing and committing longer term, because they've tried so many things already and all these things haven't worked, and then they try something else and then that doesn't work, and most of these things are restrictive diets and meal plans that are not sustainable and not realistic.
Right.
And it does take time, and everybody's different as far as how fast you lose the weight, but then we also want to factor in a maintenance phase so that we're sure that you're keeping the weight off, and everything else that goes with it, right? As we become over 50, there's different things that happen. We have sore shoulders, or we have knees that hurt, or hips or ankles or whatever, and it's factoring all those things in, and life events and vacations, and yeah.
And I think that's why why you hit me so well. I mean, you see plenty of people on social media talking about programs, but you can't, I couldn't do a 23-year-old telling me the correct way to eat and work out. And they don't know, I mean, they don't know what women go through and the history. I don't feel like they
Yeah.
would understand, and a male doing it for me. I just didn't feel that was, so it was so refreshing to see somebody the same age and somebody that works with people specifically in our age group and older. And I loved that. I loved that because it just was more real to me. And you know what you've been through and what most women have been through with weight.
Yeah.
So that really attracted me to it as well.
Yes, yeah, yeah, I agree. Working with somebody the same age is so much different than working with someone a lot younger and a different gender and so forth. And I've lost 20 pounds myself and maintained it for 24 years. And that's my hope, is that women that lose weight will really keep it off, because that's the
Right.
hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
So before you joined the New Me Academy, did you have any hesitations or anything?
So for me, hesitation when I start anything, especially weight loss, is fear. Just fear of failure, fear of the unknown, and what are you getting yourself into? More importantly, fear of failure, because you do these programs and you do sign up for diets, and as soon as I mean, I've hit my goal weight maybe once. And because after so much time, you kind of lose a little drive,
Yeah,
and you don't have anybody to pick you back up but yourself. And if you're the one that's struggling, it's hard to do that by
yeah,
yourself.
true.
So I was also hesitant at a little bit of time commitment as far as all the activities we do, the gym, being consistent, learning new things at our age, and committing to it.
Right.
A little bit of finances was behind my hesitation as well. But my biggest reason for of everything and investing was to invest in myself and to, I just lost my dad when a lot of this came up, and I watched him struggle and not get up and not move. And I believe that's a lot of our older generation's problems is lack of movement. And I don't want to do that. So I was like, I got to do this for myself and for my kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my husband. He's an active person as well. And so we want to stay that way and do things. But that, I guess those were my hesitations.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing. And a lot of women have those similar hesitations, right?
Mhm.
The fear, the time, the investment, and also putting themselves first and
Yeah.
prioritizing themselves, because it's not so common for women, especially, to do that. And when you have kids and you've been used to taking care of the kids and you have dogs and husband and work and house
Yeah.
and all these things, it's like there's no time for me. And that's what I think is so important, to put yourself first and
Yes.
prioritize you. Yeah.
I definitely feel that way. And I think that if you don't, you just are going to end up spending more money and more time
Right.
with the doctor, with possible hospital bills, with just health issues in general. And it's an investment, like you said, it's an investment, but in myself. And
Right.
I was ready for that. I felt good about that decision.
And investing in yourself, I mean, what better investments are there
Oh,
than investing in yourself?
right.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes.
So where are you at now in your journey if we look back to the start, like on January 1st? So almost 4 months.
So 4 months in, I've lost 20 pounds. Yes. And I honestly feel the best I've felt in so long, and I'm eating what I want to eat. I'm not limiting myself. This program isn't about that. It's about living your life. I have a beer, and I have French fries, and you just have to modify it. And that's what it's about. And that's what you've taught me. And that you can still live. I don't feel like I'm not living my day every day like it was before, but I'm happy doing it because I'm eating better and I'm making better choices and I'm going to the gym 4 days a week and walking the dogs after, I mean, it's all good and I feel wonderful, and I have a wonderful supportive husband that's joined me in this, and we're doing it together, and it's amazing. The support system, I can't, that's my biggest thing. I absolutely, as much as I was worried about my time in the meetings, and I don't know if, I think, I don't know, it ends up being what you need. That's what keeps you going.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you
And
need that.
it's changing these habits. I mean, it takes time and just doing things a little bit differently. But like you
Yeah,
said, you're still able to go out and enjoy yourself. I know you've been on some trips, and
I have.
being able to travel and enjoy the foods and beverages and still, not feel bad about it.
No, and you find yourself preparing for that.
Yeah.
You find your mindset is, I look up menus before I go to restaurants just to know, okay, what's my better choice?
Right.
And okay, that's a good choice, but it might have a little too much fat or salt because I have to be careful with those two. And I just think that alone too is huge. Preparation is one of our big things, just being prepared. And I feel like I'm so much more prepared for going out and doing those type of things and still enjoying it and loving it and going out and not holding myself up inside.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
I love it. Yeah, the preparation and like you said, building awareness, right? And
Mhm.
thinking more about things as you go. I was talking to another client earlier today about how she's developed so much more awareness of, you know, the foods and what she's doing and thinking and all of that.
Right.
So it all goes together. So as far as like your biggest personal transformation, losing 20 pounds so far, which is awesome and very
Mhm.
realistic in the time frame, very sustainable, right?
Yes.
And having more energy, going to the gym 4 days a week, more consistency, preparing and planning for the meals, looking at menus. Anything else, like as far as, well, I think you said feeling better as well.
Right. I just thought of something too, and I can't think of it now. I just think knowing what is okay to eat, everything's okay to eat. Nothing's off limits.
Right.
I have desserts. I
Yeah.
know, we all love chocolate. You just have to plan for that.
Right.
And oh, I know it, and you're going to have some off days.
Yeah.
You're going to have where you put a pound or two back on. But that's okay. That's
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
And it comes right back off. You
Right.
just,
Right.
if you keep that mindset and
Yeah.
okay, you're aware of what you ate that you probably shouldn't have eaten, or
Right.
not as much maybe,
Yes.
then you get right back on track and you go again, because that's the rest of my life.
Right. Right. Yeah. That's it. It's a lifestyle. It's
It
not a
is.
quick fix or secret sauce or anything like that.
No, and that's what's so wonderful. It's not. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I have help. I've got my accountability group, but I'm doing it, and that's satisfying.
Yes. Yes. I once had a client said, "Wow, I'm losing weight and I'm eating like real food. Who would
I
have thought it?"
right.
Ah, so last question is, what would you say to other women that are kind of on the fence, like they've tried all this stuff, like what's going to work? Is it really going to work for me? They're worried about time and just prioritizing themselves and all this stuff. Like what would you say to someone who's in a, similar situation to where you were before we started?
So I will give kind of the idea and speech that I gave my sister, because she joined and she's done amazing. And
Yes.
I, yes, it's an investment, but who better to invest in than yourself,
Right.
your health, your long-term health, and your medical. Bringing your numbers down in blood work, and it just, you're going to balance out any kind of expense you put into this now
Yes.
in that later in life.
Yeah.
And being able to do more with your family, being able to do more for yourself, lifting something that, maybe you would ask somebody else to do. We're getting stronger here, and we're
Yes.
getting healthier and doing more for ourselves all around. And I think that to tell people it's worth every penny you put into it, every penny. And the best part on top of it is you get a friend in Linda, which I truly have, and a group of women that are in our group that we work together with, that I'm growing so fond of, that my sister and I already talk about what are we going to do if we leave, when we're done. And we're like, I said, I don't know if I'll be done. But there's just, you can't, it's just priceless. I don't know what to tell people other than it's priceless. It has brought me so much joy, fun, laughter, a lot of work, but I'm working on me, and that's number one. And
Yes.
it's worth every minute. And you're not somebody that's like, come on, we got to do this, and yelling. You know, you're forgiving when needed, and it just is such a positive experience, and it's worth every penny.
Thank you. It's not
Yeah.
boot camp, women. It's not a boot camp.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, I love it, Allison, and I love working with you. It's so much fun, and yeah, and your sister Amy, you're both doing amazing, and I'm so proud of you all. And I'm so glad that you're both here for a year, and
Yeah.
and just keep on going together. And yeah,
Yes, we will.
I love it. So.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share? I don't have any other questions, but I really appreciate your time.
Of course. No, I just want to say that, and I get teary. I am a very emotional person, but Linda's brought so much joy and honesty and truth to the weight loss process that I've never had before, and accountability that I look forward to. Not one where I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to put in, what I did today. We keep track of steps, and, I didn't get my steps, and thinking guilt.
Yeah.
We have off days,
Right.
and you're honest, and you're good with that. And that's a huge need for women.
Yeah.
And not being judged, and not being treated like it's, you got to get out there and bust your fanny so hard that you're hurting every day. And
Right.
it's not that. You make it for everybody. Everybody's different. Everybody's going to lose weight, work out differently. And you're there for me every day, Saturday, Sunday, on vacation. If I have questions or anything, you're there for me.
Yeah.
And it's priceless. It's priceless. You don't find that in coaches, and you get a friend. Again, I love it. So yeah.
Yay. I love
They're
it.
crazy. Not crazy not to sign up, because it's fun.
It's fun.
It is fun.
Yeah. No, I really want women just to feel better, and I know that women feel better when they lose weight and they have, less joints and different body parts that are not aching so much anymore, and reducing the medication and having more energy and just all the things. I want women to feel amazing, because I know it's possible. So,
it is. And
yeah.
you make it easier and fun. And that's the way it should be.
Thank you.
Yes.
Learn to love exercise. Oh, well, it's been a pleasure, Allison. Thank you so much for having this conversation with me, and that we get to
You
share
are
with the
welcome.
world.
Yeah.
And you'll inspire, and we'll inspire together, hopefully, lots of ladies.
Yes. Let's do it. Come
Yes,
on, girl.
let's do
Join
it.
in.
Yay! All right, Allison, thank you again. I really appreciate it. And, any questions for those of you who are listening, just pop it in the comments, message me, and keep in mind that on May 13th, we're starting a new 4-week summer weight shed experience for women over 50. All right. Thanks again, Allison.
Bye. Thank you, Linda.
Bye. Let's see.